Welcome everyone to the third episode of the Morning Chisme. I am so happy to have you guys here today, either listening or watching on YouTube. I know it's been a minute since our last episode, but we're so excited to have y'all back. Sister, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Why? What happened?
For anyone that lives in Houston, we just had, was it a tornado?
It was definitely something.
It was something big. And I've been without power for almost 48 hours now.
Oh my God, it's been almost 48 hours.
Yeah, but thankfully, we were blessed to have family nearby that we could stay with because I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, no, I
Imagine the Houston heat, the humidity.
Yeah, and you have bunnies, so you guys had to.
We had to.
Yeah, no, that's not fun at all. And I literally, so it happened on Friday, and it literally happened out of nowhere.
Did you get the text that everyone said they got with the warning? I did not get one warning. Everyone was like, you got the warning, and then 5 minutes later, the sky turned dark. I got no warning whatsoever. I didn't even know it was going to rain, but it literally got so dark out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then the winds were crazy. The power went off. And then it was sunny outside.
Yes, it was sunny. Literally, it was torrential before. Is that the word? Torrential?
Sounds like tarantula.
It was fucking crazy.
It was just crazy.
Not the vibes. Because it was fine. I watched Luna for a second. We were outside. We're chilling. And then boom, rain. And it felt like the windows were going to bust. I was like, oh my God.
It was the wind. It was the wind plus the rain. It was crazy.
Yeah. So everybody that's in Houston who's listening, I hope you're okay. And I hope your power comes back soon. And I hope your power comes back soon. Because I know that you're dying on the inside, sister.
I know. I'm just not that I don't like being at parents' house because I'm so grateful, but also I like being in my own space.
Oh no, that's totally fair. So let's just cross our fingers that during this podcast recording, your power comes back. What a win that would be.
I know, imagine.
Yeah, imagine.
I would love that for me.
We're manifesting that.
I literally was yelling in the apartment, lights come on now.
And I know your husband was probably chill.
He was just like, we're going to be okay. And I said, no, we're
No, I get it. Plus, you have the bunnies, so I understand. But we have been, we haven't posted a podcast in 2 weeks. I recently went on a really awesome vacation. I went to France and to Monaco, and it was an experience. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about it. So we went for a wedding, and it was by far just the most beautiful venue I have ever been to. Shout out to all my friends that got married this year, and obviously you, but it was just such a gorgeous venue. And when we were on the way there, nothing about this trip went easy. Everything was just a little difficult.
Oh my gosh, I know.
On the
you
way
were taking
there,
off.
On the way there, so we get there. So the wedding is on Saturday. We leave Thursday. So my boyfriend had a work trip, so we left on Thursday. And I also just started a new job, so I left on Thursday. And we were supposed to leave at 8:20 to make it in time to land in London to take our connecting flight to Nice. Because there's no flight from Houston to Nice.
Right.
So we're sitting on is it a tarmac? We're sitting on the track or whatever the fuck. And it's definitely 8:45. And I'm like, okay, we're supposed to take off 25 minutes ago. What's going on? Maybe there's just a tiny little issue. When we had made the connecting flight, because it wasn't all in one booking,
right?
I had given us plenty of time to make it, right?
Right.
So we're sitting there. I'm 25 minutes go by, 45 minutes go by, an hour goes by, and I'm this is the only flight that we can take that will get us to the wedding on time. So I'm panicking, right? So
you're panicking and you're texting me and our other sister Paula. So now I'm panicking
by proxy.
You're you need to find us flights. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot.
There's a lot of pressure. Because that was really truly the only flight that would make sense. There was a flight the next morning, but we would land at 2 p.m. and the wedding was at 4.
Yeah.
And I was just no, right? Because obviously France is in the future.
Right.
So anyway, we're sitting there, whatever. They're 2 hours. We're 2 hours in. People are starting to get antsy on the plane. When you can feel people just getting annoying.
And it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. People are fucking annoyed. Kids are crying. The whole nine. And I go to the back and I go to the bathroom and I overhear the flight attendant telling somebody you might want to rebook your flight. And I'm like, bitch, I need this flight to take off from Houston today, in the next hour, or we're going to miss our connecting flight. So I'm panicking, whatever. The pilot comes on and he's like, we're going to be taking off in 25 minutes. I'm literally thank you, Lord. So whatever, we start to fly up. The fucking person in front of me, and I get it, okay? I understand that the recline button exists for a reason. Reclines for the entire 8.5 hours we're in the fucking air. And I'm I look over at Chris, my boyfriend, and he's just sitting there fucking sleeping, not a care in the world, with not a recliner in front of him.
So you're not a recliner?
No. Why would I recline?
I feel for long flights?
Yeah, but why would I recline if there's someone behind me? You know what I'm saying?
I think I reclined on my way to Japan. It was 13 hours.
I know, but think of the person behind you.
I understand, but sitting straight, like
Yeah,
90-degree angles.
I know. And also we were in standard. Okay, we weren't even in like economy plus or anything. So literally the space that motivated me to get skinny. I was like, I need to be skinnier to be sitting in standard, or I'll need to get like a bigger fucking seat. Like it was just not the
I
vibes.
will say that on longer flights, I do recline. Not the entire way, but like if I want to take a little nappy nap.
I get that. No, I understand.
10 plus hours?
But reclining for 8.5 hours is a criminal act. Okay? Like, go to jail for that. I was so annoyed. So I was already sweating balls, okay, because we're sitting in the Houston heat in this airplane that's...
Why don't they turn on the AC?
Oh, me and Chris were like sweating like whores at church. Like, literally, I looked at Chris and we're like sweating. And I'm like, nobody else on this plane is hot as fuck. Like, I need them to turn on the air. I asked the flight attendant, I'm like, can you please put it lower? And she's like, no one else has brought it up, so we really can't. And I'm like, Chris, bring it up. So whatever. We're on the flight. We're flying. He's reclined. I'm annoyed. I sleep for maybe like 45 minutes. We land in London. So our connecting flight is in London. We land in London and there's enough time for our connecting flight because it got delayed, right? So we land in Heathrow. If you've never been to Heathrow, it is the most complicated fucking airport in the entire fucking universe. We land in Heathrow. We're getting off a United flight and we're going to British Airways. Tell me why British Airways is like a fucking train ride away. So we're walking around the airport. We ask somebody like, where's British Airways? We see like all the other ones, but we don't see British Airways. And they're like, oh, you have to take the elevator down and you have to go to the expressway, blah, 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 Terminal C on whatever. And I'm like, oh, fuck, we're not going to make it. Like, we don't have enough time. And my dumbass decided it was a good idea to bring a checked bag. So usually I'm a carry-on girl, but this time around I was like, I need a checked bag because we're going for like a week. You know, I want to look cute. And I also needed to take my options for the wedding. Mm-hmm. So me and Chris are running around and Chris is very much just like looking around, like not a care in the world. And I'm fucking panicking, sweating balls at this airport. I have not slept. So then we figure out where to go. We print our tickets. We're waiting for the little train. We get to the track. The train leaves. Literally, as we're stepping on, it literally leaves. And I'm like, fuck, it takes another 13 minutes to come back around.
13?
I know. And I'm like looking at my little boarding pass. The flight is now delayed. Again, right? So I'm like, we have enough time. So we get to the terminal. We go to check our bag. And he's like, you can't check your bag. And I was like, why?
Because it has to be an hour before.
Yeah. And he's like, it closed 4 minutes ago. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I need you to understand, I have to get to Nice. Like, I have to go to one of my best friend's weddings. Like, it's not an option. And I'm about to start crying. And it was probably not that deep. But if you think about it, we the reclining man, the sitting at the tarmac, the fact that we missed the train, I have not slept, you know? So he feels bad for us and he puts us on the next flight and we make it. So, but we didn't make it easily. The boarding pass didn't have the gate. So we're walking around wondering where the fuck the gate is supposed to be at, right?
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so we're standing in front of the screen like it's fucking like 2006 and it says like A23, right? We walk the wrong direction. We're going towards A1. And A23 is literally the last A on the other side. And it stops boarding at like, I don't know, it's like 5:47 or something. And it's 5:42. So me and Chris had dreams of getting food. And I'm like, I'm sorry, we just can't. We're running. We're going through people.
Running at the airport is so embarrassing. Yeah. Like, I just know that there's someone out there that saw me run to my flight for LA this past year. And I don't want to hear it. I look like a kid getting to school late. It's such...
It was not the vibes. So we're running, right? We get there. Our flight is now delayed. And I'm like, oh my God, we just ran. And it's also packed. Our entire flight is full. So they're like, they're offering like, hey, does anyone want to like knock it on this flight? And I'm like, no, we were the last two people to get tickets. I'm like, we are getting on this fucking flight. I don't care. Yeah. Like, I will fight someone.
Like, it would be different if you were just going for vacation, but you had to get to Nice at a specific time because that's the reason why you were going to Nice.
Exactly. So at this point, we had been flying for like 13 hours, 14 hours. I was exhausted. You know when you get that headache from lack of sleep? I was just overwhelmed. We get on the flight. It's like an hour and a half flight. It went off without a hitch. Not a single problem. We land in Nice. We grab our bags, okay? And I'm like, the vacation begins. We go to get there is Ubers. We get a taxi, okay? So we're in Nice. We get a taxi. Tell me why. Okay, so I put my shit into the taxi. It's like a Mercedes. I was like, every single taxi was like a nice car. The man drives away without me. The man literally drove away. I'm sorry, I just burped. The man literally drove away without me.
Where was Chris?
He was in the taxi. Literally, Chris had got the bags in the Uber and he had gotten in because I told him to go first because I didn't want to like scoot all the way over because I had my backpack. So I had put my backpack in the car and I guess the driver thought I was the backpack and he started driving away and I was like, sir, no, I'm not in the car. No. And the worst part about this is not the most embarrassing part of that day, okay?
Oh my God.
So Chris was like, oh my God, the man almost ran you over. And I was like, I was worried about getting left. I didn't even think about the fact that he could have ran
you were
me
like,
over.
I barely made it here.
Yeah. So we make it to the hotel. Everybody's kind of staying at, everybody was staying at the hotel we were staying at except for the bride. So we get there, everybody's like in the little lounge, the bar lounge. And they come up to us, they're like, oh my God, you guys have to go out. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, no, I want to go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I just flew for like 20 hours. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong until the point that I made it to this hotel. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
We get back to the room, you know, I'm just like, fuck. Like, we're in Nice. Like, I have to go out, you know? So then me and Chris decide to get ready as fast as humanly possible. We decide to, you know, like, whatever, we're going to go. So everybody's texting us like, hey, we're at, I don't even fucking know, the Black Dog or the Black Disco. I don't remember. We're mapping it. We're walking towards the fucking place. I'm wearing wedges. Okay, my safe shoes. Tell me why I trip and almost break an ankle. And I'm like, okay, this day needs to end. I'm like, this day needs to end now. Like, too much is happening. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm getting overwhelmed. We get to the place. It's one of those bars that you can't buy drinks inside. You have to buy tickets to buy drinks. Does that make sense? So we buy like $60 worth of drinks, like tickets or whatever. We go inside. I chug my drinks. I'm like, I need to be either drunk or whatever. So then I'm like, okay, we're getting loose. The group is having a good time. Me and Chris are having a good time. We're tired, but whatever. We go to another place called Baby Club. That place was fun. We're there. Everybody decides to go home. And me and Chris were like, no, like we literally just fucking got here. Like we're staying out. So it's just me, Chris, and one of our other friends. So we're having a good time. And then it's like, okay, we're kind of hungry. Let's go find food. We couldn't find a place to eat because it was like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We found this guy selling burgers outside of his trunk, like out of his trunk. So we bought burgers out of the trunk. We literally ate someone's car burgers. And they were not that bad. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Chris said they were not great, but in the moment, I was so hungry.
When you're hungry, you're hungry. You're going to eat whatever.
Eaten dog shit at that point. It would have been fine. Because we had not eaten, like, till that point.
Yeah.
Because we never made it. Like, we were supposed to eat between our connecting flight, and we never did. So then, this is so embarrassing. Like, I literally want to die. When I tell you that everything that led to this moment, I was like, there's nothing worse that could happen, right? Everything that bad has happened has already happened. So our friend, you know, whatever, she's with us. She goes home. And me and Chris are like, okay, let's walk back to our hotel. And I have to pee. Okay, so you know when you drink beer and it just like goes through you?
That's why I don't drink beer.
I had like 3 Coronas at this point.
They have Coronas over there?
Yes, they do. So I had 3 Coronas and a few vodka sodas. And we're trying to find I'm like, I have to pee now. Like, there's no option. So we're 6 minutes walk from our hotel, but we're like next to bars. So I'm like, okay, let's go to this bar, right? But there, it's like every single place you go to, you have to get like either like a wristband or like a stamp or some shit. So we go to this one place, and I'm talking about it's packed, like sardines. It's like a rave. And I'm like, there's no way. We literally paid 40 euros to get in and go out because like we could not find the bathroom. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I know there's probably cameras everywhere, but I have to pee. Like, there's no other option, or I'm going to pee myself. And me and Chris are like, okay, no, we can do it. We're like running back. I'm like contemplating taking off my shoes. And I'm like, taking off your shoes in Nice? Like, there's one thing of taking off your shoes in fucking rainy street, but in Nice, like, I can't be this trashy, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you think. So I'm fucking running. I probably was moving in slow motion, if we're being real, because my fucking foot hurt after falling. Chris and I make a plan. We're like, he's like, I'm going to pee in the shower and you're going to pee in the toilet. And we're both going to...
he had to pee too?
Yeah. Yeah, we both were. Like, after eating chicken burgers and drinking Coronas.
Oh my God.
We were like, okay, we like channeled each other. And he was like, okay, I'm going to pee in the shower. You can pee in the bathroom because like, we both have to go. So I'm like, we're running. We cannot find the hotel. Like, we had only seen the hotel for a few minutes. Like, I could not for the life of me figure out what the fuck it looked like. So we're on the Google Maps. We find the hotel. Our key to enter the hotel was not working. And I'm like, oh no, I can't. I'm about to start crying.
Room?
No, to enter the hotel.
What?
I know. It's one of those where like you have to like put to enter the hotel. So luckily the guy at the front, he saw us, so he opened. So I'm like running. We're on the first floor. So in France, it's like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Yeah. So we get in the elevator and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to pee myself. And I was like, Chris, as soon as I get in the room, I'm going to take my romper off and then I'm going to go to the bathroom and you pee in the shower. And he's like, okay.
Like, it was a plan.
It was a plan. And he failed me.
He failed you?
Yes. We get into the room. I'm like, I'm taking my romper off. And he was peeing in the toilet. And I peed myself. It's so embarrassing. Literally so. This is the most embarrassing moment of my life. This, like, in that day, out of all the things I went through, the flight missed, the recliner, the lack of sleep, the fucking running all over the airport, falling, getting almost ran over by the taxi, I end the night by peeing myself. And it wasn't even a little bit. It was a full stream. Like a full stream. I had to throw away my romper. I was so embarrassed. It was horrendous.
I can't believe Chris didn't go in the shower.
I know, but to his defense, he thought he had more time because I was like taking out my romper, and it was like a complicated one too. Yeah. And it was a super cute one that I've had for years. But it's fine. I got it on Amazon. Yeah. So that was my first day in France.
That sounds traumatizing.
It was crazy. I cannot believe that happened. All of that happened in a span of like
24 hours.
24 hours. I didn't think I was going to share the fact that I peed myself, but you know what?
Everyone pees themselves. I've peed myself.
Oh, okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it was not like on purpose, you know?
Yeah. And the worst part of it all is I was not drunk. So it was
same.
Like lack
when I
of
peed
control.
Myself, yeah. Well, I was laughing.
Really?
Yeah. And it just came out. Like my husband was making me laugh a lot. And I was like, I need to pee. Stop making me laugh, which made me laugh even more. Mm-hmm. And then it happened.
Yeah.
But this happened before 2020, and I feel like nothing counts before COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I have a few years before I can ever live this down.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Chris was like, no, babe, I'm so sorry. Like, in the bathroom, and I, like, kept peeing harder because, like, I kept laughing. So I was just like, I was so embarrassed. I could not believe it.
Sometimes you can't just, it just does not.
Yeah, no, it was really embarrassing. And if you know me in person when you're listening to this, like, no, I didn't. It never happened. And I will never own it.
Only on the podcast.
Only on the podcast. But Nice was great. The wedding was beautiful. I will say it was a little bit like not when it like not that I was okay. It was like just not what I expected, but in like the best way. Like I had looked at videos and stuff, but it was so beautiful. Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we went to Monaco. Monaco, wow. Fancy as fuck. So expensive. So expensive.
Yeah, I feel like everyone there is rich.
Yeah, no, oh my God. The people that we met. So I'll speed through this part, but we went to Monaco for a few nights. We stayed at the Fairmont. Shout out the Fairmont. Best hotel I've ever stayed at. Super expensive. Not even gonna lie. It was really, really expensive. We kind of like, we were like, we're gonna ball out a little bit.
Splurge.
Yeah, we splurged. And honestly, the bill wasn't as much as we thought it would be, but we were ordering room service left and right. Like, we were like, espresso martini. Like, they would just, like, you could call and be like, hey, can y'all go get me some whatever? They would just bring it out. It was crazy.
I love that.
And the hotel room was beautiful. So if y'all are ever looking to go to Monaco, Fairmont, if you're trying to splurge, beautiful hotel. Monaco's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
We pretty much, honestly, we didn't do too much in Monaco because we wanted to like chill, but we went to the casino a few nights. So the first night I went to the casino, it was very bougie. Like I highly suggest if you go to the casino and are thinking about it, dress nicer because like I was dressed in like a dress and like sandals, but it was not high end enough.
Right.
Like everybody was dressed to the nines. It was very bougie, like Rolex, Prada, everything was designer.
I'm too poor.
Yeah, no, it was very much like I felt poor, and I mean I was compared to the people there. Like absolutely. So 2 drinks was $100.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And also they don't...
I thought they don't get free drinks?
No, you don't get free drinks. So you... Well, yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, one night we did, and then one night we didn't. Yeah. But we met this guy who was playing roulette when we were playing roulette, who was a Ferrari collector. And I was like...
Wow.
He was like, yeah, no, I'm not here on business. I'm here just, having fun. And his girlfriend was with him. And she lost her watch, and she didn't know how to say watch in English. I think she was French, and she kept saying wallet. So she was like trying to ask him for help, and he was like, no. Like he was being such a dick to her. So I was like, oh my God, I'll help you. And she was like, I'm looking for my wallet. And I was like, oh, she was looking for a watch.
Yeah.
She never found it. And then he like kind of like shooed her, and I was like, okay. He was being such a dick. And he also knocked over my chips. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. You can suck it. But anyways, Monaco was a vibe. I listened to Bad Bunny's song while I was there.
Of course.
Such an experience. Which leads us to our next topic. That was long-winded, but that was my trip.
Yeah, we needed to hear that because that's the reason why we have not had a podcast episode 3.
Yeah, and also because I got super sick on the way home. So, I mean, it was just not... The cards were not aligning for me when it came to going there and coming back.
The cards were not aligning with us at the beginning of this episode either, actually.
True. But yeah, so I listened to Monaco while I was there. I was like, this is so...
You had to. Like, you could not go to Monaco and not listen to Monaco.
Exactly. So it was awesome. And then, so, Bad Bunny. We need to talk about it.
Of course we need to talk about it.
So, Bad Bunny is currently on tour for his Most Wanted tour, and the Met Gala was, I think, like roughly a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
He was one of the co-chairs, which is honestly pretty cool. He looked great. I didn't really pay attention to too many people's outfits because I wasn't paying attention to the Met Gala, but he looked great. and he was spotted.
Yeah, I feel like we don't really like pay attention to the Met, but we like to see who people hang out with after.
Yes.
And Benito was with La Candelaria.
Yes, I did. I had predicted that they would join again.
Absolutely thought that we were going to get a picture of them at the after party.
You really thought so?
Yeah, for sure. I think that I was also expecting a Raul Alejandro and Rosalia picture because you know how that blind item came out that they
were eating at
spotted.
Cipriani's.
Yeah, but I definitely expected Bad Bunny and Kendall.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a feeling that they would reunite, but I didn't think it would be at the Met Gala. I thought it would have been sooner, honestly.
That's true, too.
But so they were spotted together at the after party, and then there was pictures of them coming out of the same hotel.
Which I read somewhere that apparently all of the celebrities stay at the same hotel because that's how they walk out of. Like, you know, they do one of their first looks. Some do. Some wait till the whatever color carpet they have. But I mean, we're not stupid.
We're born yesterday, and then they were spotted together last night.
I know.
So right before we were recording this podcast, it came out that she was attending his show, his Most Wanted tour in Orlando. Florida, and people were having very mixed reactions.
I think a lot of people are going to have mixed reactions because they don't like the Kardashian Jenner clan, which is fine. I get it. I don't get the hype of them. Like I don't really care for them that much. But I will say that, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like he's going to do whatever he's going to do.
Yeah.
And that's date Kendall Jenner or not.
Yeah. I mean, some people were saying, someone made a very interesting comment in my video on TikTok that they were probably together this whole time, but because it was like the end of the tour, they decided to like show up together because it could have negatively affected his tour to be seen with her.
But I also had read that she was supposed to get, like, she was working on things with Devin Booker.
That's also true because they were allegedly, we don't know for sure, spotted together.
Yeah.
But
so, I mean, and then he wrote that line in Adivino, so I'm just like,
I don't know.
But, I mean, what, like, I'm just like, what can we say? It's, I never thought that we would see Bad Bunny with someone from the Jenner Kardashian clan,
neither.
right? But now that it's been, over a year?
Yeah, it was last
It's not
February.
surprising anymore. It's not something that I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, when it first came out, I was like, what in the world? But now I'm just like, you know what?
It's not going to shock us if we see them together.
It's not shocking. It's not shocking whatsoever. And I'm just, like, indifferent to it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, they're both good looking, so I get it.
Yeah.
Do you think that, my question is for you, like, do you think that they're going to be together for a while again? Or is this like a one and done?
Can I tell you what I think it is? I feel like she has never gotten over Devin Booker. And I've talked about this before. I feel like maybe, not that Bad Bunny is a rebound, but I definitely, especially after hearing that song, it's like he had more feelings for her than she had for him. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to be together. Like, maybe not necessarily in a relationship, but I think we're going to be seeing them together for quite some time.
Yeah.
So,
especially now that his tour is ending.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So he has his, like, a few more shows, and then he ends in Miami, and then he has his 3 shows in Puerto Rico, which makes me wonder, like, is Gabriela, his ex-girlfriend, going to be there?
No, because she unfollowed him from Instagram.
Do you really? Okay, so Gabriela, Bad Bunny's ex-girlfriend, was seen with him at like a group dinner like a few months ago after him and Kendall had been like allegedly broken up. And then after the Met Gala pictures came out, she unfollowed him on Instagram. And I believe her best friend Marina also unfollowed him.
Right.
So could there had been some like playing there?
You think?
I don't know. I could see that.
I had posted about this on my TikTok, and someone said that apparently like they've always been kind of like the couple that could end up back together. And then someone said that finally there's someone that could take his attention away from her, and that was Kendall Jenner.
I could see that.
I see what they're saying, but I definitely liked when Gabby and Bad Bunny were together, I loved their vibe. Now, I know that allegedly Gabby did some fucked up shit to Carlis, right? But I will say that for me, whenever I saw Bad Bunny with Gabby, and it was the whole 2020 thing, and we were all going through it. It was just really nice to see them together. They would post things on social media, and I don't know, and they had a dog together.
No, they do. They still have the dog.
They share the dog?
Yeah, I believe
custody?
So. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because he's posted the dog before, I believe.
I don't know. I just definitely think that she thought that maybe he could one day be with him again, and now that's
not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Well, I guess time will tell.
Yeah, for sure.
But backtracking to Monaco, because Bad Bunny song Monaco, me attending or being in Monaco. So when I was in Monaco, I talked to one of the cashiers at the casino, and I was just being nosy and also drunk. And I was like, so I asked him, I was like, do you guys like listen to Bad Bunny? Obviously not, but like he was like, oh, I don't know who that is. And then he was like,
he said that?
Yeah, he was like, I don't know who Bad Bunny is. And, I mean, it's fair, like he didn't,
Yeah.
But I asked him like, what are some famous celebrities who have been at this casino? Because it's like famous, right?
Right.
And he was telling me like all these like celebrities, and I was like, who's like the rudest celebrity you've ever encountered? And he was like, J-Lo. Which does not surprise me at
Honestly,
all.
it does not surprise me at all because lately I've been seeing it all over my TikTok. Like just people having different encounters with J-Lo, and they're never a positive encounter.
Never. And her like reaction to somebody asking her at the Met Gala like what she's wearing, and she's like
Schiaparelli.
And then she like looks away. Like she just looks like she's not a very nice person.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess I'm a little more shocked than I thought I would be, but at the same time, like when someone is at that caliber of fame, they probably think their shit doesn't stink,
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, shit is shit. Well, she was seen at the Met Gala without her husband, Ben Affleck.
What do you think is going on with that? Because there's lots of rumors right now.
Lots of rumors that they are headed for a divorce. And I hate to be this person, but I felt like they moved on extremely fast, right? I felt like she and Alex Rodriguez, was it Alex Rodriguez?
I just know him as A-Rod.
Yes. So
side note, sorry. He allegedly had like cheated on J-Lo with somebody who was on a show in Bravo.
Oh, really?
I'll show you who that is later. But I don't know if it's true.
Well, I felt like they ended, and then her and Ben Affleck rekindled their love, and then got married fairly fast, right? And so, I don't know. And I feel like Ben Affleck always looks miserable around her.
Yeah,
and
or maybe he's just miserable.
Or maybe he's just miserable. But like, of course, we see them as a couple, and it's all like his face just always looks miserable. So I don't know, because then they were so there was the rumors that they, were headed for a divorce. And then yesterday, I think it was, they were spotted together outside of Serafina's like recital, which is Ben Affleck's daughter.
Oh, I was like, who's Serafina?
And J-Lo had flowers, and they had been wearing their wedding bands. But then today, like on my way over here, I saw that he's no longer wearing his wedding band. Yeah. So what's going on? And allegedly, they did not spend Mother's Day together. And
apparently, she liked some like Instagram post of like red flags or something.
Yeah, about like relationships.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, small little side note, do you think it's weird how close he is with his ex, Jennifer Garner?
No, they have children. I don't think so.
I had seen someone talk about it on social media. And like, do you think like J-Lo feels a certain type of way because of that?
I feel like if Jennifer Garner wanted Ben Affleck, she could have had him.
And you think so?
And they have, they already had their. This is the thing, in my opinion, with people who have children together. Like, if that person no longer wants him and they're not together and they have a good relationship for the kids, like, that should be a green flag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I feel like if Ben Affleck wanted Jennifer Garner or she wanted him back, like,
they just have a good co-parenting relationship.
I just think that they're just co-parenting. Like, what are they going to do? Hate each other? And they're also in the public eye, so everything they do is scrutinized.
For sure, dude.
So
I could not be in the public eye.
Yeah, I literally peed myself. Like, I would die. Oh my God. I would die. It would just not be. Not the vibes. But we'll definitely keep you guys updated on what happens next. Now that we see him without the wedding band, I don't know. Because I'm not wearing my wedding band. Yeah, but like, you don't have anything to prove.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like celebrities, like, everything they do is like, you could literally like have one tiny interaction with someone that wasn't positive, and people are now saying that you're like a piece of shit person.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I definitely think that time will tell with these two. Do I think they're endgame? They could be.
For a little while, I thought they were endgame because I was okay. They had been engaged in the past, and then they went their separate ways, and then like rekindled their love. But I just don't know anymore, especially with everything that comes out about J-Lo, like all the negative things. And I would believe if like I wouldn't believe it if it was just like one negative thing and someone maybe just had like a bad interaction with her. But it's a constant like one after the other of people talking about how they had negative interactions with her. Not everybody is lying.
Yeah, and I mean, like, also that interaction on camera at the Met Gala, like, come on. That's literally in front of us. Like,
there's just like a nicer, the thing about being a celebrity is like, okay, I understand that you don't owe anyone anything, but at the same time, it's like you are at the Met Gala, right? And someone is asking you a question, like, there's just like a nicer way to say, like, oh, I'm wearing Schiaparelli. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah.
But
she probably just doesn't give a fuck, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Like, she's probably in a whole different world of thought because
she's J-Lo.
Yeah, she's probably a diva, so like she doesn't care. But speaking of J-Lo and past relationships, J-Lo and Diddy used to date, which brings us to our next point, Diddy and Cassie. Yeah. Yeah.
I really have like no words.
No words.
No words. I was not expecting to see that. So not that I didn't expect it from him, but I just didn't think that evidence was going to be released.
Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, so Diddy used to date Cassie for quite some time, for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. She filed a lawsuit against him for many, many horrendous things that he did to her, which I believe every single thing that she said.
I do too. And a lot of people did not believe her.
Exactly.
And thought that she had been doing things for just
clout
to get money. And to those people, I say, watch the fucking video because it's heartbreaking. This man ran out in a towel and had the audacity to put his hands on her like that.
Yeah. And also, like, they can choke. To people that didn't believe her, like, I didn't need to see footage to believe anything she said.
Absolutely. Me neither. And what was so heartbreaking is that you could see that she was trying to get away from him, like trying to put her shoes on. She was so close.
She was panicking.
And watching that video, I panicked with her because I cannot even imagine. Like, I can't even play tag because I get fucking anxiety because people are running behind me. And I know that's like a stupid thing to say, but I cannot even imagine someone like running behind you to hurt you, like to hurt you and to hurt her like that. It was just heartbreaking. And, and that's one thing. And imagine what he would be willing to do behind closed doors.
Exactly.
And he paid the Intercontinental $50,000 to hide that footage.
And the fact that they took the money is even more sick. Like, you know, and I understand that people are powerful. They can get rid of whatever they want, but like, it's just nasty. Like,
it is.
And I do think that his time is coming. I mean, obviously we're watching it in real time. Like, he was held on a pedestal as a, you know, musician, I believe, and also like a producer. He was like a big mogul in the industry. And like, now everything that you once were, you know, praised for, it's all going down the drain because you're a fucking horrible person.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't feel bad for him whatsoever.
No.
The people that are like, oh, she was clout chasing. She was just doing it for the money. The money must have run dry. Like, watch the video. And the fact that you even have to say that to those people is sick. Like, and I hope that this will never be justice. Even just from that scenario, like $30 million or whatever she got, like, it will never be justice. But finally she's getting, you know, something for all the pain that she went through. And it's just disgusting. He's disgusting. And I hope that, you know, I'm sure this wasn't the only evidence that's going to come out. And I don't think we need evidence to believe her, but he's just a horrendous person.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to her husband, though, for the post that he posted, because it's truly beautiful to see that after she was in such an abusive relationship, she has came out the other side with someone who supports her and with someone who's good to her and who, you know, they're married, they have 2 beautiful daughters, and that I like just by seeing the way that he stands up for her, I just know that he's keeping her safe. Yeah,
and he's protecting her because I'm sure behind closed doors and in private, she's fucking scared. Like, even because people in this caliber of rich and powerful, they have very scary people on their side.
Yeah.
And that's the saddest part of it all is like, she'll probably never truly know peace until this man is behind bars. And even then, those people like,
but he's not going to get charged for this.
Yeah, I saw that.
The LAPD posted it. Let me read it to you guys, which makes me angry.
I had seen a snippet of it, but I don't know what it says.
It says, let me read it. It says, we are aware of the video that has been circulating online allegedly depicting Sean Combs assaulting a young woman in Los Angeles. We find the images extremely disturbing and difficult to watch. If the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, unfortunately, we would be unable to charge as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of assault can be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs, but we encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness to a crime to report it to law enforcement or reach out to our office for support from our Bureau of Victim Services. This is the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office.
That's fucking sad.
There can be fucking video footage. And I'm sorry, like 2016 is not that long ago of him literally just doing these sickening things. Like, he's beating the shit out of her.
I know, I saw.
And nothing.
I know.
Nothing. like, it's heartbreaking.
It is. It is very much. It's so sad. But I mean, to be quite honest, this man didn't do it one time, which is what keeps me like. Of course, like it's so heartbreaking that this one instance, like that is caught on camera, is not going to be charged. But what keeps me like hopeful is that I know he didn't do it once, and I know there's multiple people out there who have gone through something horrendous because of this man. There's going to be more recent situations that are going to get charged and going to put him behind bars. Yeah, and I know that's not solace that people want, but like, unfortunately, like.
Don't put your hands on people, period.
Like, what a sick man. What a sick man. But that is the sad portion of the podcast, because, like, that was really hard to see. And
it was really hard to watch.
And I wonder, I really hope CNN reached out to her beforehand before they fucking released this shit. Because it was.
You think so?
I hope so.
And because you sent it to me, and they had posted it, like 5 minutes ago? And then it was everywhere.
And people were... I understand people want to talk about it on TikTok, and I talked about it, but like posting it, I was like, oh, that's too much.
No, I couldn't post. It's scary.
Yeah, I could only get through a few seconds.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking, because you know that she lived through it, and it's just thinking about it, like
it's very difficult to watch, and also putting yourself in the mindset that this was definitely not the only time. Like, she went through so much because of this man.
You could see how scared she was running away. Oh my God.
Yeah. And also it makes you think about all the times they were on the red carpet together. Like, when she was answering, like, what her mindset was, like, what her thoughts were, like, was she terrified in that moment? Why didn't somebody help her?
And he would like grab her and scoot her closer. And it's just like,
he's a scary, scary man. Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to say this. Fuck him. He can suck it. Yeah. And I hope that he ends up behind bars, and we're really going to see what happens in the future. And the house of protection, I hope, is crumbling for him. Like, I really do. But on to lighter news. Let's move forward to the podcast. Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber are having a baby.
I know. And there have been rumors earlier this year that, Hailey was pregnant. But I feel like they just have so many rumors surrounding them all the time. Like, they're always like, not Selena. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Hailey and Justin will be like, people will say, oh, they're breaking up, or, Justin looks sad. So like, hey, like there's just always such negative rumors around them that, I don't know, it was hard to believe the rumor that like, oh, she might be pregnant.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I'm a little terrified for her. People are so fucking mean to her. And like, look, I'm not going to lie. There's a past in a 3-party situation.
Right.
And I have done lots of digging into the whole Selena, Hailey, Justin situation, because I'm a nosy bitch, so I wanted to know what happened. But like, we need to move on. They have moved on.
Selena is happy with Benny. Like, she literally is thriving in a good relationship. She's in love. She's even said that this is probably one of the best relationships she's been in. Let's take her out of the equation. Like, the first things that I see on social media after they announce her pregnancy, how is Selena feeling about this? Like, what is Selena going to do? Like, what does it matter? Selena's living her best life with Benny. Like, let them live.
Let a bitch live.
And then let Justin and Hailey live. Like, like they don't need to be in a group together. They're separate. Like, they're both living the life that they chose for themselves. And that's it.
And that's it. Literally. Like, it must be so fucking annoying for Selena to always be connected to Justin Bieber and Hailey. Like, I'm sure, has there been petty comments in the past? Obviously, they were exes. Yeah. We've all done it. But like, let her move on. She's happy. Yeah. Let Hailey and Justin move on. They're happy. Yeah. Like, for people to be like, oh, Justin hates Hailey, or Hailey hates, or they're breaking up, whatever. Like, they're literally having a baby. You're saying this in this moment?
They posted about them having a baby, and people were like, well, they're just having a baby to save their marriage. And it's like, okay, we can make speculations, right? Because people are nosy bitches too. Like, I get it. Okay. But unless they come out and say that, I'm sure that's hard to hear, especially for her that's pregnant. Yeah. And she looks beautiful.
Yeah, she looks great. She's so pretty.
She is so beautiful. And I'm really excited to see her pregnancy style. Yeah. Because I'm sure it's going to be fire. Her style and her fashion to begin with. So I'm really excited for her. I wonder how they hide it.
I think she probably was wearing she was already really thin. So she probably wasn't showing, when you're thinner, you don't show as much as quickly. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's true, but from what I've seen, and she's probably wearing flowy clothes. Yeah. But I know there was a lot of rumors. There was a bunch of shit on Dumois of people saying that she was pregnant. So people felt like she was pregnant already. So I don't know, but I wish them the best. I
do too.
She's cute. He's
for sure.
I was gonna say he's there. For me, she's the show.
He's cute. He's a cutie too.
Yeah, he's a cutie. Yeah, and Selena looks happy, and let her fucking live. Let her live with Benny.
What if this is Selena's end game? What if and people are connecting her to a relationship she had freaking forever ago?
You know what's the craziest part about the whole trio of them is that Selena and Justin, from what I have read, because I don't fucking know them, they were very toxic. So why would her fans want her to go back to something that didn't serve her?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure she's happy now. So like, let her be happy.
Yeah.
You know, like let her move on and do her thing. She's been, I don't know, she attended like the Cannes Festival or whatever. She looks gorgeous. Like she's happy with her man. They're happy over here.
Yeah.
We can separate them.
He speaks so beautifully of her.
Yeah. Like let them live.
Yeah. She, like you said, I had heard a lot about the relationship too, that they had been toxic with one another. Yeah. Now they were young,
exactly.
Right? So I feel like now she is older. She's in her 30s now.
I think she's like my age, so she's like 30.
So I feel like when you get older, you know, you mature a little bit more, and maybe she's having that mature relationship that sometimes you don't have when you're younger, and like maybe this is it for her. And if it is, why the fuck are we connecting them to Justin and Hailey Bieber? Like Hailey and Justin are over here, Selena and Benny are over here. There's no need to
intertwine.
Yeah, let them live their best lives.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of another Selena, we need to talk about Selena Powell and Clay from Love is Blind, because I have so many thoughts. So for those who haven't watched Love is Blind, the most recent season, it's a show where people essentially go into pods and they end up either getting married or proposing to each other and deciding if they want to get married. One of the cast members, Clay, he was set to be married to this one girl named AD, and they didn't end up getting married. He very much clowned her. He clowned the fuck out of her.
I was angry. Yeah. Because, like, if you're not going to want to marry someone, why the fuck do you ask them to, like, marry you? Dude, like, you're wasting her time. Like, she went on the show for a reason. Anyways.
So, they didn't end up together.
Right.
They kind of tried to date after the show, but it didn't work out. He was seen recently with Selena Powell. If you do not know who Selena Powell is, Google her and you'll know. She's an OF model. She's very messy. She's like hooked up with lots of famous people and she'll bring it on the internet and be very messy. She apparently was hooking up with Snoop Dogg for some time. Apparently,
remember when she made up that whole thing that she had Offset's baby or something? Was it Offset? Yeah. And she borrowed someone else's like baby and pretended that it was his baby. Yeah.
What?
That's how I know Selena Powell.
I remember she had made like, you know, when she was like on the bottom, you have blah, 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 that TikTok like from like Dance Moms. She put a bunch of like famous people she had slept with, and one of them was Anuel AA, and I was dying because I was like, Anuel AA, of course. And apparently, allegedly, because the Real Hasta la Muerte fucking gang of fans is going to come for me. Apparently, Selena Powell was who Anuel cheated on Karol G with, but that's a Reddit rumor. I don't know if that's true,
right? Well, basically, back to Clay and AD. Not Clay and AD. Clay and Selena. They posted a TikTok, right? A TikTok video this past week of them in bed together.
Yes.
And then I guess a lot of people sent the information, Selena's information, to Clay's mom that we got to meet a little bit on Love is Blind Season 6. Clay's mom posted a whole spiel on her Instagram. She literally goes, Clayton Alexander.
She called him
my full name. Jesus. Okay? She said, surrender to Jesus. And so then Clay reposted his mom's story and said, my apologies, Ma, love you, or something like that. Then Selena posted on her Instagram stories her singing that Tupac song, the fuck you and your motherfucking mama, or something like that. And then it's just been going back and forth. And then at the very end, she posted AD saying like,
you dodged a bullet, essentially.
You dodged a bullet. Yeah.
The way she's so messy.
I low-key love it.
Yeah, like, I mean, she lives her through her messiness.
You know, I don't love her, but I think that, like, what did Clay expect, though? Like, this is who you were fucking with. Like, Selena Powell. Like, you did not know. And he even posted on his stories, like, when you're lying about me being your man or whatever. And it's just like, I'm here for the tea, right? I'm here for the tea. But also, what did he expect? For him to not... And I would not be surprised if she went on a podcast and talked about Clay.
Of course. He was also seen with a different woman like 4 days ago, before the picture, 4 days before that picture, and like on vacation.
You know what's so crazy is I knew this man went on the show for clout. There was no way that he was looking for love. Yeah. But for a tiny little second, he had me at the reunion when he was like, I'm working on myself. I'm going to therapy, trying to be a better version of myself, blah, 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 blah. And obviously, no, he's not.
Clay is a clown. He's a clown.
Clay the clown.
They all are when they go. I'm like, the women that go on Love is Blind are usually like 7s and up when it comes to like personality, looks, everything. And the men are always subpar. Yeah. Like, I don't know how far back you've watched, but you should see the early seasons. Like, where do they find these men?
I know.
Like, the trash can? Like, when they did Houston, I'm like, really? That was the best y'all could come up with?
I know.
I'm like, there's some lovely men in Houston that they could have picked, and this is who, JP. Be for real.
Yeah.
It was just, Love is Blind is fun, though, to watch.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I'm not binging Love is Blind, we're binging the new season of Selling the OC.
I watched the whole thing in one sitting.
I watched it on the plane. I had to stop. I had to literally stop. I had to pause the video because Alex Hall pisses me off more than anything. I need all your thoughts. Please go.
I can't fucking stand her. I can't stand her. There is something wrong with her, like in the head. Like she is not okay. The fact that she lied. Okay, so she went on a podcast and talked shit about Kayla. And I guess like the preview of the podcast came out and the cast was talking about it. And people, they were like, I'm sure this is about Kayla, but we won't know until we, you know,
watch the podcast and listen to it. Yeah.
And so she was like, they asked her, the girls asked her, Jarvis, Brandy, you know, and she basically said she had amnesia. Like,
yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? And she was like, deny. She was like, no, it's not about Kayla. It's not about Kayla. It's not about Kayla. It's not about Kayla. Then the episode comes out. Jarvis, love Jarvis.
Oh my God, I love her. She's so smart.
sad that she's not going to be on next season. But I just know that she'll do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
She's just a baddie. Anyways, she told Kayla, like, she was talking about you.
Yeah, she named her. She literally said Kayla was crazy and she was delusional. Yeah. She was incompetent. And I'm like, coming from the person that didn't even know what discernment meant, like, okay, bitch. Okay.
And, you know, I can't fucking stand her. Like, I can't. She's the one she needs mental help. Like,
yeah, she said that Kayla needed mental help, but she's the one out here lying and like not seeing her part in it.
Pretending she had amnesia.
And then the fact, okay, this is the part that throws me. Alex Hall was inappropriate with Tyler in the seasons that he was married to Brittany Snow. So Tyler Stanaland on Selling the OC was married to Brittany Snow. Brittany Snow.
The Brittany Snow.
Very famous actress. And they were very uncomfortably close. Like, it was not appropriate.
It was not appropriate whatsoever. And Alex Hall went at Kayla's throat for, you know, she made a move on Tyler Stanaland. And I would have understood if she was just his friend. But when you're doing a stupid fucking nosy,
that's so weird.
At your grown-ass ages, that's weird with your friend. And then you have the, like, audacity to say, oh, well, Kayla overstepped. Bitch!
You overstepped.
You overstepped a lot.
And then she came. So Brittany Snow went on Called Her Daddy and shared her feelings. Never said anything by name. And she also wasn't rude about it. She was like, it was just, you know, I watched it and it essentially she's just saying it fucking hurt, which it did. She was married to him. And then Alex Hall goes, I don't know what they're called, but they like do like an interview with the cast. And she's all like, Brittany Snow's doing it for clout. I'm sorry. Who are you to say that? Like,
I think that's the craziest part because like, no one would know who you were if it wasn't for Selling the OC. Yeah. She's the Brittany Snow.
Yeah, Brittany Snow's been famous since she was like a child.
Like, please, and know your fucking place, bitch.
And it's also like, that was her husband. Like, not your husband. You were the other person.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And he's messy too. Like, let's not discount his messiness.
Let me tell you. He's messy. Paulie's messy.
Yes.
Alex Hall is messy. Sean is messy. No, not Sean. Austin is messy. Who else is in that little clique? Gio. Don't even get me started on Gio, the biggest motherfucking hater there fucking is.
Oh my God.
I cannot stand him. He literally talked down on Kayla so much for the deal that she got because he thinks he's so high and mighty. Like,
it was giving haterade. Like, he had downed it. Like, he was like, oh, she can't handle the caliber of a $28 million house. It was giving, like, it was low-key giving undertones of racism. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
I was not fucking
like,
with it.
She can't handle it.
Like, oh, because she's so new and, like, dumb. Like, and she sold it.
So, Kayla, I don't think you'll ever listen to our podcast, but if you do, I am so fucking proud of you.
I'm so happy she sold the house.
But I will say this. I don't want her to give Alex Hall another chance.
I don't either.
I'm like, Kayla, wake up.
I don't think she is, though.
I hope not.
I watched an interview where I think it was her. She was like, oh, like, the apology was only for the cameras. And I believe it because Alex Hall is performative as fuck. And she's also like,
even if she is performative, like, if she's being performative, she sucks.
Like, yeah, no, like, she can't tell that people don't like her. Like, she doesn't, like, she literally said it in a interview. She was like, oh, like, if you watch the show, like, we did
watch the show, bitch. Like, that's how we came to the conclusions that you were the other woman. Like, that you were inappropriate with Tyler.
Yeah.
We watched the show. Like, I think that she wants everybody to be stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what planet she's living on, but it's not Earth. Do you think, speaking of Selling the OC, do you think there's going to be a season 4?
Yes.
Because Tyler's gone. So Tyler's gone. Jarvis is gone. And Sean got fired, allegedly.
She got fired?
Apparently, he got fired from the O group for the messiness. But I don't know. He actually posted, after this, I'm going to show you the things that he posted on his Instagram story, because he was kind of saying, like, he was kind of blaming the other girls for the rumors. So there was like a rumor, if you haven't watched the show, that I guess Austin and his wife were trying to get him to do a threesome. But I don't know.
You know, up until that point, up until the point where like they're all
At the end?
Yeah, at the end where they were like
it was unraveling.
Yeah, at the Kentucky Derby vibe situation. Up until then, I believed him.
Yeah.
And then when he started like backtracking, I was like, okay, I still believe him, but I think there's more to it.
Yeah,
and I think I think that there's, you know, stuff to believe out of his story, but when he was showing his phone and he would only hold his phone and he wouldn't let other people scroll up, and it was like he was like here like, let me see the whole thing. Like,
let me
drop the receipts. Like, let us see the screenshots.
I need a video. Like, if you're going to screenshot something, like, scroll up and down. Like, let's see what's above and below.
And whenever he told Kayla that I guess there had been, like, edibles. And then he was like, I never said that. That's whenever I started getting a little, you know.
But he showed the part from the episode, and he didn't say it. Which was, I'm like, am I stupid? Because I thought he did say it. So now I need to go back and watch. I feel like I need to watch again with like a different perspective. But I'm excited to see what they end up going with this. Like, would I love to never see Alex Hall's face again? Yes. Like, she's not even a good reality TV star.
She's not. And I'm telling you, if she's performative, she sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, she sucks. And like, I think that she's just also like a terrible person. Like, her and the little group of friends that they have, it's just like, it's not. They are yes people, okay? And they will just say yes to whatever each other says without any, like, holding each other accountable at all. Like, they just are like, yes. Yeah,
that's what Gio wanted when he was telling them, like, oh, Kayla's not, blah, blah, blah. Or, like, Kayla stole my listing. He wanted them to be like, yeah, you're right. But Jarvis was like, you're being insane. Yeah. And he was like, I'm going to walk away. Don't laugh. And I'm like, bye. And then what pissed me off, I felt bad for his wife. Like, he was out partying and, like, she's, like, pregnant. And he's like,
I think she had just had a baby.
Yeah, and he was like, I've been partying more. If you're partying more when your wife is pregnant and she's upset with you, like, goodbye. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, is the show good? I think Jarvis made the show good, and I love a few other people like Brandy, Kayla. I love them, but I don't know if it has a future. Like, I feel like the few seasons they've had so far have been really good, but this season like started falling off a little bit for me at the end.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like that Netflix put out everything at once. Oh, thank God.
You need to watch Bridgerton. I'm trying to get her to watch Bridgerton. Please watch Bridgerton.
Okay, I'll watch Bridgerton after
because
our podcast.
I want to discuss it. It's so good.
Do I need to watch all of it?
Yeah, watch all of it.
Like, from the beginning?
Yeah, it's like 3 seasons, and there's 8 episodes in the first 2 seasons, and they've only put out 4 episodes on this season, which is the reason why I brought it up, is because past seasons, they posted the whole thing, and now two parts. Give it to me all at once.
I know. What
do you want me to do?
They're blue balling us.
Yeah, like ridiculous. No.
I hate when they do that.
And that leads me to our next topic. Vanderpump Rules reunion. It did not need to be a 3-part reunion. It could have been a 2-part reunion.
It could have been
a 1-part.
It could have been an email at this point. I very much need all your thoughts. Let me give you my thoughts first. So,
like, we didn't watch it together.
We didn't sit here and watch it together. Vanderpump Rules season 11, dumpster fire. It had been announced as well that they're pausing filming, that they're not going to be filming this summer like they usually do. Season 12 is kind of up in the air recently. So shout out to Connections Queen on TikTok. She posted a poll where it said, do you think there's going to be a season 12 or something like that? And it was like, yes or no, there's not. And Ariana Maddox voted no. So is there going to be a season 12? What do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I could tell you if there is and Ariana's not on it, because I'm Team Ariana, I will not be watching.
Yeah. I think
they really ruined the season by going the way that they went.
I agree. I think it's also really hurtful. Like, it must be really hurtful because obviously Ariana said she didn't watch the season, but she also has to have, like, read something along the lines out there.
Well, did you see that? Apparently, like, Sheena talked about it, and they were like, oh, she's watched clips. If she really saw everything, that she would see that Sheena had her back. Did you see that?
Sheena did not have her back. Sheena literally was like, Tom, you're my friend, I love you.
I saw the mask fall off like 13,000 times.
Sheena.
She is...
Oh my god, Sheena's so annoying.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, like, Sheena has... Sheena has the ability to be a good person. Like, she has the qualities. She is kind when she wants to be.
Can I tell you what it is, in my opinion? Of course, this is my opinion. I think that she is so far up Lala's ass that everything that Lala says goes, and Sheena really can't have, like, an opinion for herself. She has to go with Lala because they're best friends and they have kids together, and you know, they live down the street from one another, and that's what it feels like.
I also think they heavily depend on the show. Like, I don't think, like, in other Bravo shows, they have, like, full-time jobs
and they're rich as fuck, like the Housewives.
Yeah, like the Housewives are rich as fuck and they're on the show, or like Summer House, like they have jobs but they're on the show.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Vanderpump Rules cast has, like, they have sources of income outside the show, but I think it's their main source.
Yeah.
So I think that they want to keep the wheels turning, like Lala and Sheena do.
I
it's
definitely think that this season didn't go the way that they thought it was going to go.
Yeah. And I think that I would love to sit down with production and understand what the hell they were thinking.
The fact that I can't believe that this went this way, and that the part one of the reunion just...
I'm sorry, no offense, Sheena, if you're listening to this, I highly doubt she will. I don't care about Summer Moon. We don't need to waste time on Pump. Like, Lisa,
why are you there?
We don't need to hear about Pump.
The way that Lisa went at the girls, oh my God. Okay, so this is where...
She's the original pick-me, I'm sorry.
This is where it pissed me off, is she attacked the girls, but she wasn't attacking the girls about something about her. She was attacking the girls about, like, their friendship. And that's when I knew, and I said this on a TikTok, I just know that the minute that Lala had that conversation with Katie on the phone, where Katie thought that she could trust her friend, Lala went and called Lisa, told Lisa, ran to Lisa and was like, this is what's going on, let's use it against them. I don't like that shit. I don't fucking like it. If you were trying to drive a wedge between Ariana and Katie, you failed. You failed miserably. We've seen pictures of the soft opening of Something About Her, and I'm extremely excited for them because it was so fucking annoying to watch Lala say Something About Her is nothing about her, and I have a real business. You wouldn't have a business if it wasn't for Ariana's hurt. Wake the fuck up. Send it to Daryl, got you your house. And then she backtracked on that. Was like, oh no, send it to Daryl, did not buy me my house. There's like proof, bitch. Like there's proof that send it to Daryl. Yeah. You said that you used that money to put a down payment on your house.
And it's like, fine if you wouldn't have gone crazy after that.
And talk shit about your friends. Like she thinks that she did such a play on words for multiple times. Like because she said it multiple times. She said Something About Her is nothing about her. Like you're such a fucking hater. And at that point, you were still, when you were saying this, because it's not part 3 of the reunion, you were still cool with Ariana and Katie. So you were talking shit about your fucking friends. I could never do that to my fucking friends if I was a real ass friend to them. Yeah. She's a fucking fake ass bitch.
I mean, and that's why, like, she's, like, severely failing on the outside. Like,
severely failing.
Like, her podcast went from, like, 4.1 stars.
Really loud there, but it's because, like, she really...
It's really passionate about it. Lala's just... It's just disappointing. I mean, Sheena was my... What Sheena's doing is, like, not hard for me to grasp because I just feel like Sheena... No one is... shocked, Yeah. But with Lala, I'm like, okay, you were barking the loudest last
she said
reunion.
The most, like, she said so many things that now she's, like, going against, and people are bringing up the old clips, and it's like, so you were literally saying this.
At season 10, when she was sitting down with Katie and Ariana, and she was like, I'm never going to forget the people that were there for me when I was going through this hard time with Randall, and she was talking about them too. Then for her to say, like, I'm a dog with rabies for people, but they don't even do it for me, it's like,
Ariana's been such a good friend to Lala throughout. Like, did they have their fights? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But she's been the one friend to Lala these past season of Vanderpump Rules that, like, stood up for Lala when everybody didn't like Lala.
Yeah. And also, like, she's such a production plant, too. Like, I just know that production was like, let's drive a wedge. Let's make Ariana the villain. And she was like, okay.
And she called herself out at the reunion.
Yeah. She was like, oh, everybody knows that Ariana's a fan favorite. Like...
And the fact that production thought that was a good idea, like...
I think it's because they had to balance the scale. I think that's what they were trying to do. They were like, season 10 was so heavily focused on uplifting Ariana. They need to balance the scale with some uplifting of Tom. But I feel like they forgot that it's not 2010 anymore where we're going to buy it. Like, women are on Ariana's side. Men and women are on Ariana's side. And if she wanted to light Tom on fire or drown him, I would have been like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the craziest part for me. I would have gone insane. I would have like, Ariana, it was the best it could have gone. She did the best she could. Like, this was the best case scenario because she should have had the entire season of rage. If she would have been deranged and fucking crazy and didn't want to film with Tom Sandoval and punched him in the throat, I would have been like, I get it.
I know. That's the thing. It's like, people are like, Lala and Sheena think that Ariana just didn't do enough, or like Ariana felt too much and she didn't do enough in the sense of like filming with Tom and having that conversation with him. It's like, having that conversation with him would have been inauthentic.
Yes,
because
exactly.
She said at the end of season 10, I will not speak to you ever again. Like, they don't need to speak. It would have been fake as fuck for us to see them having a conversation that Ariana said in the confessionals. If he wanted to talk to me, he could have written me a letter. He could have left it on the kitchen counter. We could have had a conversation, had an email without the filming being there. He didn't want to do it for Ariana. He wanted to do it for himself and the audience.
Yeah, he wanted to redeem himself, to look like somebody who was changed. But even at the reunion, part 1, he was like, I didn't weaponize her mental health. Yet in the second to last episode, he admitted to Sheena that he weaponized her mental health. So it's just like, you're a liar, you're skis, you're 42, I think, and you act this way. Like, you're embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the only part that I do agree with him saying is that Raquel is a coward. One, I don't think she's a coward, but two, that she came for Ariana and she was like fucked up for that. Like, not you suing Ariana. Like, that is insane. Like, you are literally insane.
Yeah.
What possessed Raquel to be like, it is a great idea to sue one of my ex-friends who I fucked her man?
Yeah. And Raquel keeps talking about the show, and it's like, well, they're talking about me first. Well, you're talking about it in your podcast first.
Yeah, and it's also like, what did you expect? If you were a part of the last season, you caused chaos, and also like, not to be this
What
person.
is she going to talk about when they're no longer talking about her?
I don't know. She's gonna have to talk about something else, but who knows? My question is that she feels like she's in the center of attention, but it's like, you were only the center of attention this one, like, you were a side character. I'm not trying to be mean, but like,
No, she wasn't. She wasn't a main character.
like, you were not anyone that brought anything to the show.
And the thing is, at the beginning of her podcast, I felt like she was en route to
Be better.
And then Vanderpump Rules started, and she decided to have is it like a segment where she like, I don't listen to her podcast, but like
she talks about it the entire fucking time.
Okay. So every week, that's what her podcast is about, and it's like, Raquel, you're never going to move on. Like, at that point, just go back to the show.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also like,
I looked at the camera and went like this.
Raquel, what the fuck? I think Raquel was on the route to take accountability, and then she like fucking went left and off the highway into the water because she's suing Ariana is insane.
Yeah.
Like, if you really think about it, like, you fucked her man, had an affair with him.
Infliction of emotional distress.
While you were saying that this woman caused you emotional distress while you were fucking her man in her house that she pays for.
Don't get me wrong. For the revenge porn, like, if Ariana did do it, I will bite my words.
Yeah.
Okay? If Ariana did do it, if she did distribute it, then I will bite my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think Ariana did it? No, I don't think
would have
so.
came out by
It
now.
would have came out by now. And I feel like Tom Sandoval would have said it by now
Mm-hmm.
if she had done it, because it would have benefited him, you know? But infliction of emotional distress, I don't remember the exact wording. Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
You slept with her man.
While she was at her grandmother's funeral, which is so cruel. Like, people last season, and I was one of those people, I was like, when we got the reunion or whatever, and then there was like the last 5 minutes, people were like, I was expecting more to come out. But like, what more could have been done that could have been more hurtful? Like, it was fucking horrible. And I'm excited to see season 2, reunion part 2. And
What did you think about Lala going at Katie?
I think Lala's a loser. I'm sorry. I think that you used a conversation that was done in private with your friend.
And then she was like, I didn't know it was confidential.
That's so weird.
Like, so everything needs to be used on the show. Not everything needs to be used on the show.
Yeah, like,
she's like, if she would have told me it was like confidential, then I wouldn't have used it.
Yeah, but it's like, it's inauthentic for everything to be on the show.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
Lala, I haven't seen half your life on the fucking show.
Yeah, and then she was hiding Randall and saying that he wasn't married and he was married, and she wouldn't have hit him if he wasn't married. Like, let's be honest. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, and I'm excited to see reunion part 2. Is it going to be better? I hope, because this was a can of nothing, and at the very end, we were getting something.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. 2 parts could have been easily sufficed.
Oh,
or just drop the whole thing.
Yeah, I hate the weekly segments.
Yeah.
Just like drop the whole reunion, unedited, full thing.
Raw footage.
Yes.
All 8 hours.
Yes.
I want to hear everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how Joe and Allie are incorporated on this part of the reunion.
I think it's very strange that Allie wasn't up there, but Brock was.
But I don't think Brock's going to be on part 2.
Oh, he's not.
I didn't see him in the, like, I think Joe took his spot.
Oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about Brock. I think he's annoying, but this past reunion episode made me kind of sad. I did cry.
I got teary-eyed, and then he kind of stood up for Katie, and I kind of really liked that.
Yeah.
When he told the Schwartz that he stripped, like, all the confidence that women had in her during their marriage, and then he was like, I wasn't a shitty husband.
Oh my God, Tom Schwartz is literally 13. Like, he thinks, for someone who's smart, like, Tom Schwartz is not an idiot. He's very, like, childish and immature.
Yeah.
Like, truly, Jax, Tom ending up without their very strong and amazing women was, it's on par. It's on par.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not shocked. Speaking of Jax, let's get into the Valley, which is our last portion of the podcast. Did you watch this week's episode?
I did.
I understand that people are like, Brittany knows who she married. She chose this life.
Yeah.
The way he fucking hates her makes me so sad for her. Like, genuinely, I watched it this morning and I was like, he fucking hates her.
Yeah.
He literally truly despises her.
Yeah.
The fact that she was on the way home and she wanted to throw up or did throw up, and she had to tell the girls, like, hey, can y'all not tell Jax, like, I threw up? Like, you don't want the girls to tell your husband because he's going to roast you? That should be the last person that's making you feel poorly.
Yeah.
And or when she said, he talks to me like this in front of my mom, my dad, my grandma, anyone. I was like, he talks down to you in front of your parents.
I can see why Brittany initiated the separation. I can see it.
Oh yeah, I mean he's just so mean, and I do think a big part is that Jax is very superficial. And that Brittany had cruise. She gained some weight. She's looking different, and I think he's just bitter that she doesn't look like she once did. But like, babes, neither do you.
Yeah.
Like,
it's honestly sad to see. And I get what you're saying. A lot of people are like, you know, Brittany knows who she married, but it's like she's also living it. Like this was her life, and I understand that it's reality TV, but like, for him to be treating her like that is just heartbreaking.
it's sick.
It's sick.
And it's also documented, which is like the saddest part.
Yeah, like your kid could see it one day in the future as how you treated his mom.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was watching. I was like, this must be difficult for Brittany to watch back. And I'm sure it played a part on why she wanted to end things with him as of now, because obviously we don't know if it's going to continue. But it's like they're watching it back and then it stays. Like, this is going to be visible to your child. Yeah. And that's sad. Yeah. Like, I can't imagine, like, thinking that as Brittany. And, like, I get it. People think that she's a dumb bitch. But, like, I still, like, she probably thought he was going to grow up eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And, I mean, I feel like everybody on the Valley is kind of, like, a little crazy, except for Nia and Danny. Yeah. Jesse and Michelle.
Okay. I don't understand why. Jesse, crazy ass, okay? But also, Michelle, you just say you want out of the marriage. Like, this man is trying-ish. Yeah. But, like, Michelle hates Jesse. There's no way around it. No matter how much Jesse, if he were to have tried, there's no way he was going to get Michelle back. It's just not going to happen.
She did a long time ago.
A long time ago. And honestly, like, obviously we know present day she has a boyfriend. She is with someone else. And it says that Jesse is with someone else as well. Which, good for them, because they did not like, maybe Jesse liked Michelle and he needed help. But Michelle did not like Jesse. No, period. No. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, that's it. Like,
no, she did not fuck with him at all. Like, you can just tell she's like, I fucking hate this dude.
Hate. Not even dislike. Hate.
Yeah. And I think it's because his ego was just too large to put her, like,
for too long.
And that she just was over. She checked out. I genuinely, obviously I don't know these people, but, like, I feel like maybe she just waited till the season was over, because they literally broke up as soon as the season was announced. Yeah. And she was like, no, I'm out. But, I mean, at the very... Did you watch the very end of this episode? Where Jax is talking to her, and it ends on, like, a cliffhanger when she was like, yeah, I did hang out with blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe they knew. Maybe he knew that his wife was, like, dipping. Because if you're going to go and do ayahuasca instead of going to therapy, that's so unattractive. Like, you're fully a parent. And I'm not saying older people can't do ayahuasca. Go do whatever you want, you know? But, like, if you want to save your marriage and take your wife seriously, why don't you just go do something that's actually going to help you? Like, it didn't help. Like, him going to do ayahuasca to kill his ego, what did it do? Yeah. It made him zen for, like, one day.
Yeah.
And that's
the thing. Yeah. I've heard great things about ayahuasca, though.
Really?
I will say that, yeah.
My friend, I was about to say my old coworker, but it is my old coworker. She told me that she did ayahuasca, and it was, like,
it's
really
very,
cool.
like, eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's like it's an experience.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that
saves a marriage.
Exactly.
I mean, it could, but
but it's Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that he's the worst. And the thing is, it's like you're standing next to Jax Taylor, like, and you look worse. Damn.
I know.
I would have looked within. Speaking of looking worse, can we talk about Janet for a second?
Janet really thinks like she's the number one girl in the group.
She pisses me the hell off.
She does, which is weird because in the show she pisses me off, but then in that little podcast with Sheena where she was sticking up for Ariana, I was like, okay, Janet, like, you still suck in the Valley, but like I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand that she doesn't like Kristen, but I'm a firm believer you are a season 1 cast member. Kristen, Jax, and Brittany have years on you. Yeah. The show is only relevant because of them. Like, at least pay her some respect. Like,
yeah,
you know,
sure.
Like, my girl Kristen, she's insane.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, she's a psycho. And she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
She's less psycho than she was in season 3 because holy shit. But, you know, like, Kristen will be filmed with or without your consent. Not with or without your consent, but, like, with or without you wanting her there.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, the show revolves around 3 people, and y'all are the side characters, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't like that she excludes Kristen, because I'm like, you would not be on the show if it wasn't for Kristen.
And for her to be like, the reason why why would I invite her to my baby moon if she didn't invite me to her event? You didn't invite her to your dinner.
Yeah.
Janet!
Like, you started this domino effect.
Like...
Yeah. And she plays this card that she's not a gossiper. Like,
Janet is the biggest gossiper on there with Jax.
Yeah,
they try to pin it on Kristen, which is the shit that pisses me off because it's all of them. They all fucking gossip. Mm-hmm. And Janet, when she sat down Jasmine and was like, so what did you... Like, Janet...
Didn't you just say, we talk about Kristen, you have to put $20 in the jar?
Yeah, like, please.
Yeah. Or when her little friend was like filming, or not filming, they were watching the fight with Zach and Kristen, and he like ran back and told Janet. I'm like, this is so petty. So,
why does she need eyes and ears at Kristen's event?
Yeah. If you didn't like her, why do you care what she has to say?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't like Janet.
So season 2 for The Valley has been announced.
Oh, it has.
Hasn't it?
It's renewed or date?
It's renewed.
Oh, okay. I knew it was renewed. I thought you meant like the date was announced.
Let me see.
I saw that it was renewed, but I don't know about a date.
Oh, no. It renewed. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So, season 2 is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it.
It's because you looked at your phone.
Yeah, because I was looking into it. Okay. Season 2.
There is no reunion.
Oh, yeah. So, there's no reunion, but there's going to be a season 2.
Yeah.
And apparently, Lala is in the talks of being in season 2.
Jack said he wouldn't want anybody from Vanderpump Rules coming over, but not that it matters what he says. But I don't know. Maybe it is just the fact that they don't fucking like each other that's hard to watch. Like, I do think about that sometimes. Like, Vanderpump Rules, I don't think they fuck with each other anymore. Like, at one point, like, if you watch from the beginning, which I do often because the first few seasons were, like, gold, they actually genuinely liked each other. Now it just feels like they're clocking in. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I know that Katie and Ariana like each other. They're business partners. I know that Lala and Sheena are friends. I know that James is friendly with everybody. But it just doesn't feel like these people genuinely fuck with each other outside of the show. And they wouldn't be as close if it wasn't for the show. Yeah. So maybe moving her to the Valley or whatever will show a different side of her. Yeah. But I do think that, and we're going to end the podcast with this, like, do I think that Vanderpump Rules is done? My heart shatters to say it, but I do. I think that the show's over. I think that it's time. I think that maybe they're going to bring a new cast of people. Like, Vanderpump Rules was a show about people who work for Lisa. If Lisa is on the show, what the fuck does she contribute besides her lame ass opinions? Yeah. Because all she talks about is like Tom and like no one cares. Like, sorry, like these people don't work for you anymore. You're not a mother figure. You're an executive producer on the show. Yeah. That's it. Like, you're not these people's ally. No. So if it comes back, I just don't know what route they'll take. Yeah.
And hopefully if they do come back, they take a way better route than this season.
Yeah. It would take a lot for them to redeem the show, I think. Yeah. I think it would take them doing what they didn't do this season and kind of like showing it how it is. Tom sucks. Yeah. Stop trying to shove him down our throats. Yeah. But I mean, I think they missed the mark, and a lot of people feel like it's kind of over. Yeah. But
I guess we'll have to see.
And I guess you guys are going to have to just watch the show to see what we're seeing. Right. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch our podcast.
I know this one's a little bit longer than usual, but thank you guys.
We're making it up for the 2 weeks
last week that we didn't have. Hope you guys listen to this one and let us know your thoughts on social media. Instagram, TikTok.
Yes.
That's it, right?
And Instagram is Morning Chisme Podcast. Wait, no. At Morning Chisme on Instagram, at Morning Chisme Podcast on TikTok, YouTube, Morning Chisme, and then anywhere you find podcasts like Apple, Spotify, and the rest. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, chismosas.